Namaste, Hamisha Kushaho. Students, today I am going to teach you constructivism theory for the learning of biological science. So there are many learning theories, that in the educational process of teaching learning. But constructivism is a unique because it focuses on developing the learners and knowledge by constructing the world around them through experience, observation, documentation, analysis, and the reflection. From a constructivist perspective, biology is not the search for truth. It is a process that assists us to make sense of our world. Using a constructivist perspective, teaching biology becomes more like the biology that biologists do. It is an active social process of making sense of experiences as opposed to what we now call school biology. Indeed, actively engaged students in science is a goal of more science education reform. It is an admirable goal, and using constructivism as a referent can possibly assist in reaching that goal in a constructivism epistemology. Tools available to a knower are the sense. It is only through seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting that an individual interacts with the environment. With these messages from the sense, the individual builds a picture of the experience. Involves an interaction of an individual with events, object, phenomena in the universe, and interaction of the senses with things, a personal construction which fits some of the external reality but does not provide a cooperative learning strategy, allows individual to test the fit of their experimental world with the community of others. Other helps to constrain our thinking. The interaction with other cause perturbation, and by resolving the perturbation, individuals make adaptation for to fit their new experimental world. Now, constructivism activities in the biology learning. Your knowledge is constructed by the learner, not received. How does knowledge construction take place? Learner comes to biology learning with exciting ideas about many natural phenomena. What what ideas do learner bring to biology classes, and what is the nature of these ideas? Each individual has a unique set of ideas. How much commonly is there between learners' ideas in biology? The learners' existing ideas have consequence for the learning of biology. How do learners' ideas interact with teaching? It is possible to teach biology more effectively if account is taken for the learner's exciting ideas. How should constructivist teachers teach biology? There are a number of ways by which teachers can come to know about the previous knowledge of student. Some exercises are mentioned in the section like concept map, use of newspaper article, making T-chart, observation technique, use of cartoon, song for teaching biology. So these are some ideas by which we can make our learning better. Concept map in the study of the ability to build interrelationship among concepts and related topics and to relate newly acquired knowledge. The concept map topic we will read in detail in further classes. This is the priority. Knowledge is crucial to the understanding of biology concepts and how the system work together to bring about a coordinated responses. Concept map diagrams and other graphic organized are useful tools to illustrate the link between concepts and the topic. Once a teacher has explained ecosystem, ask students to connect the following terms: ecosystem, biotic components, abiotic components, soil, water, air, decomposed organic matter, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, water, climate condition, temperature, producer, consumer, decomposer, food chain, energy flow, recycling of nutrients, and so on. So these all topic, all the factors will connect it to each other, and that will make the concept map. Now, on we can learn better way by this formula. Use of news article in making teacher tell students to bring newspaper article about sciences. List the topic of article on the board as the student give a 30-second summary of their form. This list choose 5 to 6 topics which are relevant for them. Make 5-6 group of students and allocate one topic to each group. Give each group instruction to make T chart on a large piece of chart paper. Tell them that the T chart is large. T draw on the paper with the topic written at the top of the T. On one side of the T bar, students will write what have you heard about the topic. On the other side, they will write what questions do you have about the topic. So by this way, we can learn many things. So now you can discuss the T chart either in the construction of the concept map or can understand their previous knowledge to initiate discussion in the class. You are discussing homeostasis in living organism. The students are now part of multidisciplinary team put together to design the perfect animal that can survive the reproduce successfully under the following conditions: environment that is very poor, very hot and dry during some day, but turn cold and windy at night, and has many fast and aggressive predators. In their designing of this animal, they should consider body support, reproductive strategy, excretion, and model of locomotion. So in this exercise, students need to think what work in a group, discuss and apply already covered taught topics like adaptation, morphological features, life processes, defense mechanism, etc. This requires structure and reconstructing of concepts, which is possibly only with good understanding of the concepts. Or learning benefits from multiple views of a subject area. After studying human growth, ask students to draw a graph of average growth after birth showing the relationship between height and age. Once they have made this graph, then tell them to plot a graph on male and female comparative growth rates showing the relationship between change in height and age. This graphical representation helps in better understanding and interpretation. So this is a very good way to understand these topics. Now in the observations, when you are about to explain the hormonal control of the female reproductive system, show an illustration of hormonal control of female reproductive system and ask students to make a list of 6 observations. When you discuss the positive and negative feedback system controlling the production of estrogen and progesterone by the ovary with the student, they have already spent time studying the names of different glands involved and hormones produced by them, and will be more receptive to learn more about the role of hormones in ovulation. And then ask students to predict what would happen to the endometrium if progesterone level does not fall during the last days of the menstruation cycle. This exercise will help students to observation, comprehension, analysis, interpretation, and the prediction. So students, I hope you understand how well we can learn better our concepts by the constructivism approach. Thank you.